Hola, ¿qué tal? Are you ready for the ultimate guide on the A-level Spanish speaking exams? Whether you are a homeschooled student or you have a group or you are an independent student, stay right till the end to learn lots and lots of tips that will give you the mark you deserve. Soy Delia, soy profesora de español especializada en AES y A-Level Spanish. Me puedes encontrar en YouTube, lógicamente, en Instagram, en Facebook, donde publico contenido exclusivo para estudiantes de AES y A-Level Spanish, y también en LinkedIn. Puedes contactar conmigo escribiendo un email a delia@spanishnopanic.com y puedes visitar mi página web SpanishNoPanic.com. ¿Estás preparado? ¿Estás preparada? Vamos. First of all, remember these are tips for students of all exam boards. Timings or some details may differ from one board to another, but they will be extremely useful for all of you. Remember that your classmates can be a great support. Always make sure that you rely on them, you take time to study with them, you discuss and practice with them. So even when it's clear that you have to be an independent student and devote a lot of time in studying, you also have to rely on your peers, parents, grandparents, friends. They can be a great opportunity to increase your critical thinking, to give you food for thought. Sometimes you don't even know what to say about a topic in your own language. They can help you a lot. They can give you lots of ideas and opinions. Make sure you speak to them after school. Don't go to your room. You don't hide in your room. Make sure you speak to them and exchange ideas. It's going to be a bumpy road, and you'll feel that your skills, some skills improve while other skills get worse. This is part of the learning. This course brings this slight stress and frustration sometimes, but you'll get there. It's a long road. The sooner you start, the better. You have to make sure as well that your materials are stored and in a good folder, nice folder, or any other system. But it has to be neat, and a neat folder, an organized folder reflects an organized head. Try to stick to a timetable. You need to set tasks. You need to revise the things you do in class every day. At home, write vocabulary, underline, highlight the things you've learned so that you can ask your teacher the following day if you have any problems. Tenses are essential in A-level Spanish. You can do your own dictionary of verbs either by dividing your notebook into tenses and conjugating many verbs in each tense, or you could divide your notebook into verbs and conjugate all the tenses for that verb. Stop scrolling and start reading things like online papers like BBC Mundo, CNN in Spanish, they'll be super useful. I find some papers quite difficult, such as El País, but still good, or Público. Leave your phone somewhere else. If you are studying at home, leave it in another room. If you are studying upstairs, just leave it in the kitchen, for example. It will pay off, honestly. The amount of time, the amount of things you'll get through is going to be extraordinary. It will pay off, of course. You can adopt these tips, I'm telling you. You can adopt all of them, or you can just use some of the tips I'm giving you. But after years teaching Spanish, I'm warning you. I honestly think that if you do most of these tips, you'll really get a good grade. In class, don't stare, don't look at the teacher in a puzzled way, or just don't do anything. Just write down notes, things she says in your notebook. Be a keen student. Show that you are interested, ask questions, say things in class. Make sure you do you keep a glossary or a vocabulary log. That's going to be essential. There are also many apps that allow you to upload vocabulary and check and revise and go back and forth. I always advise a written vocabulary log. You know that writing is a really, really efficient way to learn. It's been proven, because writing is directly linked to our brain. So nowadays, writing your vocabulary, not getting distracted with online platforms or systems, can be a good idea. You don't have to learn all the vocabulary that you write down or your teacher gives you. You have to familiarize with a vocabulary. Sometimes you just need a passive knowledge. You need to recognize the word and in a context. But make sure that you stop and understand words such as union, for example. Make sure you understand them in your own language. Ask people, check online, knowing more vocabulary in your language and understanding the terms will make things better in Spanish. Pay attention to any feedback your teacher gives you. Pay attention to all the feedback when they return an exam. Don't put it in your folder and forget about it. Double check, why did I go wrong? How should I improve next time? Or maybe at the end of the class, ask your teacher. They'll be happy to help. What can I do? How can I improve? What extra tasks can I do? It's going to be really, really important. The sooner you start doing all these things, the better. Mind maps are an extraordinary way to refresh your vocabulary, to learn new things, to have a clear idea in mind about every topic. You can see my mind maps on the channel. I've made a few videos on different topics, and they are applicable to most exam boards. Or you could do your own mind maps. As I said, writing, doing your own mind maps can be really, really good. Using colors, little pictures, boxes. It's a really enjoyable activity, and it will take you really far. You can keep adding things. If you research a bit more, if you learn something else in class, keep adding more notes. Or you could do some posters and stick them on the wall of your room. Again, a really fun way to revise, no doubt. As you can see, these are time-consuming tasks, but start as soon as you can. In year 12 would be a really good idea. Read at least 2 articles, 2 pieces of news every day. Your book might say, this is information from 2011, this is information, this is what happened in Spain regarding a festival in or immigration or equality in 2015. Keep updating your knowledge. Write it down in your mind maps, or make some notes in your notebook so that you can refer to more updated issues when it comes to your speaking exam. Another good idea would be to time yourself and write down as many ideas, as many words as possible you remember about a topic. Let's say I'm going to check what I remember about something I studied last night, a topic I studied. Or I'm going to check what I remember about family and relationships. So you write down as many vocabulary and ideas and expressions as possible. Please remember, subscribe, like the video if you like it, and you will be helping me a lot with my channel. Screenshots can be a good way to remember things as well. Comics, Instagram posts, screenshots from newspapers. They can be great to keep in your folder and to check when you don't know what to say about a topic. Screenshots are really useful. I use them all the time, and I keep hundreds of screenshots to remind me to remember things I can mention in my speaking exam. You cannot expect to say interesting ideas in your speaking exam unless you have researched, you have spent time learning about each topic, expanding your knowledge about each topic. It might look challenging sometimes, boring sometimes, yes, I know, but it has to be done if you really need to get good grades. Improvement doesn't happen overnight, so stick to a good timetable. Try to have a good space of study. Another thing that helps me a lot when I don't know what to say about a topic, I will go to images. I'll write, I'll Google something like popular movements in Spain, or racism in Hispanic countries, and the pictures will give me lots of ideas as well. What's going on visually. I'm a visual student, so it helps me a lot. Another thing that can help you a lot is go to the your exam board's website, check past papers, check mark schemes, check examiner reports. They'll give you plenty of ideas to mention in your exam. You can learn lots by looking at past cards from past papers. You can learn a lot. They are not only to practice, they are there to learn, and they are available to everybody. So take advantage of that service from AQA, Edexcel or Educas. Being an A-level student is also having your own initiative. So read the spec, download documents from your exam board, and you'll see it pays off as well. When you speak to other adults, even if it's in English, write down their ideas. See how you can say those ideas in Spanish. See how you would express that in your speaking exam. It is another great idea to have your own calendar, to write down that you're going to do an essay every Monday, or you're going to try a translation Wednesdays and Thursdays. Even when exams are approaching, you need to have a clear idea how many days left, how many days to your Spanish exam. Watch television in English or read in English as well is not a bad idea at all. Knowing about the world, knowing what's going on, being able to understand the world and forming an idea about social, economical issues is really important, really important. So remember, use the ideas that suit you, your personality, your style. Don't say I didn't warn you. I've given you many tips, haven't I? Let's go to the speaking exam, which has 3 parts. First one is going to be your photo card. Second one is your presentation, and third one is the discussion about your IRP. All specs, all exam boards have this structure. This is information about AQA, but all exams have 3 papers. For Edexcel and AQA, speaking paper is paper 3. For Educas is paper 1, but they all have the speaking paper in all specs has discussion about preparation and discussion about the photo card, presentation about your IRP or your research, and discussion about your research. And the window for the Spanish exam, speaking exam, is usually from the 2nd week in April to the 4th week in May. Some people get the appointment quite soon, after Easter, Some people get it sort of towards the end. Start as soon as possible. Prepare yourself for the speaking exam as much as you can. So when do you have to start? As soon as you can. Your brain goes through really complex processes when we are talking about speaking. For the information to go from your brain to the mouth, to your lips, it is a really complex process. How do I prepare? So when do I prepare? As soon as possible. How do I prepare? Well, take any opportunity to speak in Spanish, whether you are having a coffee with your friends, going out, you are in the library, take any chance. My Instagram account has lots and lots of tips, lots of expressions you can use, phrases, idiomatic expressions, how to deal with questions. Really worth having a look. And if you follow me, it will be great, so that I can keep posting. Speak in Spanish in class. Some students don't speak at all. Just say things. Just say little things, small opinions, small phrases, until you get more and more confident, and you go from phrases to paragraphs, to opinions, critical thinking. But you need to do that. You need to go that step further. Read aloud. Read aloud in Spanish. It will improve your pronunciation immensely. Read aloud, really important. Pay attention to the pronunciation, intonation when you read aloud. Let's go now with the day of the exam. If you're an external candidate, homeschooled candidate, my advice is to visit the centre a few days before, if you can. Familiarize with where to go, whether the reception is in one corner of the building, another corner of the building. You might want to meet the Spanish teacher if it's going to be the examiner. You might want to have a look around. Is there a cafe? It will give you much more security, more confidence. On the way to the venue, the exam venue, speak in Spanish with your friends, even if they don't understand, or if they understand a bit of Spanish. It would be great if your journey was with Spanish student. Even though speaking Spanish, the fact that somebody's listening to you makes you feel more aware and more ready to speak. Or speak to yourself in Spanish as well. This will give you that mood. You're going to tune into Spanish much better and feel ready for the exam. There are usually morning exams and afternoon exams. Usually the examiners gather the candidates first thing in the morning, and they put the students at ease by speaking to them in Spanish, so that you get used to their accent, pronunciation, etc. They'll just say things like me llamo bla bla, soy de ta ta ta, estoy casado, estoy casada, tengo 3 niños, me gusta mucho leer, etc. They'll say something so that students understand or get to know him, their pronunciation and how they speak. That's not really important if your teacher is the examiner, you know his or her accent. If the examiner is an external examiner, it's important that you go to that first meeting in the morning, first thing in the morning or in the afternoon, so that you understand their accent much better later on. There's no evidence that says that candidates with their own teacher as an examiner or an external examiner get better or worse grades. There's no evidence. You'll be waiting in the exam area. Somebody, when it's time for your exam, somebody will take you to the exam room. If you have time, if you have some waiting time, what could you do? The best thing is to have a coffee with another student and speak in Spanish. Another thing is control your breathing, do a bit of meditation, think about something nice, relaxing, so that you forget about the moment. Nobody feels calm and happy before a speaking exam. Speaking exam is one of the most daunting experiences for anybody, adult or young person. Again, in my Instagram account, you have some good exercises that you can do while you're waiting. And in my YouTube channel, you have a video explaining like a big yawn, moving your shoulders, looking, moving your head left and right, putting your tongue out and inside out, running. It is said, some people say, some really good TED talkers say that running can calm you down a lot. That instinct, that adrenaline will dissipate, and you only have to go into the exam room, and you'll notice, after running, you'll notice how calm you are. I've never tried it, but apparently it works for many people. That tension moment is gone. Another tip I'm giving you is don't eat some nuts or salty food. They'll really turn your throat really dry, and you'll start worrying about that, and it's no good, is it? So now, after a few tips before the exam, let's go to the exam. Remember, in the second year, A-level second year, you'll have 2 cards to choose from. One from one theme, another one from another theme, and you will have to choose that you have been taken to the exam room. You're sitting now, and you'll have to choose one of the cards. You'll have to read quickly what they are about. If you want to read the questions very, very quickly as well, but remember that time starts once you are given the cards. So you have to choose fairly quickly. Then you keep your card on the table. You don't write anything on the card you've chosen, because you will have a piece of paper from AQA or Edexcel or Educas. You'll have a piece of paper, the official piece of paper to write any rough notes, and you'll start writing. You might have a timer in front of you, but some colleges, some centres don't give you a timer. The invigilator is the person looking at the time and controlling the time. It might happen that you don't know how long you have left, but that really depends on the centre. You could ask, if you have prepared your cards with a timer in front of you, you could ask, no doubt. You could say it beforehand when you meet the examiner in the morning. Remember, no personal belongings, no phone, no notes, no dictionary. It's just you, a pen or a pencil, the piece of paper and the card. And which is the best way to prepare your card? Go to the first question, write some bullet points, second question again, and third question, and you read your text. Obviously you read your text. First question, write some bullet points. Second question, some bullet points. Third question, bullet points. Go back to the first question if you have time, and extend some ideas. Write your 2 questions. Remember, you have to ask 2 questions to the examiner. Each card, in the case of AQA, remember, in the case of AQA, will have pictures, texts, and 3 questions. The questions will be asked in order, but not one after the other. The examiner might ask something in between one first question and second question and third question. But remember that they are the 3 elements in a card. Edexcel will have A and B, 2 parts, A and B, and you have to position yourself and defend and answer the questions examiner is going to ask. This is I'm giving you an example of what my notes would look like. So my question was hacktivismo. I've chosen hacktivismo. I've read the text, and I'm writing some extra notes, such as robo de identidad, los delitos durante el COVID, las estafas, how personal details were stolen from companies, etc., etc. They are my notes. Don't forget to ask 2 questions to the examiner. Write them down. They cannot be questions where you ask for repetition. You cannot copy the same question the examiner has asked, or you cannot use the same question on the card. They can be ¿cuál es tu opinión acerca de? ¿Cómo te sentirías si? ¿Piensas que? They have to have a conjugated verb as well. Please subscribe again. please subscribe and like the video so that I can carry on with my channel, and I can keep giving you lots of tips about other papers. The first question on the card is usually ¿qué nos dice la información? O ¿cómo reaccionarías tú ante esta información? Both are supposed to be a summary of the info, of the information. Both are supposed to gather a summary of the information on the card. So, la información de la tarjeta nos dice que, bla, 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 bla. La tarjeta muestra que, he leído que, en la tarjeta se dice que. La información dice que, muestra que, se confirma, se menciona. If the question is, how would you react? Again, me horroriza que las corridas de toros sigan teniendo lugar en España. So you still summarize the information on the card, but preceded by your reaction. Me sorprende, me gusta, me fastidia, me parece inaceptable que el racismo esté presente en la sociedad española, etc. The third question is going to be the most, the broader question. More critical thinking is expected. Regarding a timer, you won't have a timer in front of you. That's the usual situation. Some venues will show you a timer, but you're not supposed to have a timer in front of you, so that your ideas are natural, spontaneous, and you don't have to worry about the time. Take a bottle of water with no tag, a pen. You can play with a pen in your hands within reason. You'll see that you are very hesitant. You mess with your hair. These are normal things. It's an unusual situation, so these are things that happen. So don't worry about it. Don't give lengthy scripts. Rehearsed. Don't read your notes. It's no good. You can use either tú o usted if you ask the examiner. Usted piensa que, tú piensas que, no problem. And all Spanish accents are valid. Whether your accent is more South American, from the south of Spain, Canarian, Mexican, Venezuelan, because your parents are from Venezuela, or your friends or your grandparents, is not a problem. All accents are valid. As I said, don't read your notes. You shouldn't sound reading your notes will sound really artificial, that you are expected to speak clearly, naturally, spontaneously. Listen actively. Some students, they just want to say what they've prepared. They want to give lots of facts and figures because they think that's the way to impress the examiner. No, you have to listen carefully to the question. If you don't understand, you ask. Puedes repetir, but listen carefully. It's not a monologue. It is not a rehearsed speech. It's an exchange of ideas, natural, spontaneous discussion. Remember that. Okay? Move your hands. If you can move your hands, face expressions, they can help you a lot. If you're not used to it, don't worry, but expressing ideas with your hands as well makes a difference. It makes you feel a bit more Spanish. Sound interested. Don't sound bored. Don't sound tired. Just it's the only chance you'll have to show off. So sound interested and try to pronounce clearly and speak not too fast, because fluency is not speaking fast. It's speaking clearly and your ideas have to be clear and understandable. If you are a native speaker, you still have to prepare beforehand for your speaking exam. You can use your common sense, you can use the cultural information you've received from family, friends, but you still need to give relevant information. You have to show your critical thinking, your opinions, your points of view. You can give brief examples of experiences you've had in Spain. He's not talking about your, like in GCSE, but personal experiences linked to the topic on the card will be interesting. El año pasado fui a Granada y vi una procesión. Me encantó, me pareció extraordinario el sentimiento, la fe, el arte. Give your opinion as well. But remember, you won't be assessed on the amount of factual information you give. Some students think that they need to say lots of statistics, figures. No, they can back up an idea, but they are not the key element in the speaking exam. You could say something like, hoy en día un 30% de los jóvenes son ninis, lo que es muy preocupante ya que significa bla 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 bla. Make eye contact with your examiner, but don't expect constant eye contact because they are writing their own notes. They have to be thinking about many things. Self-correction is good. If you notice that you've said la problema, perdón, el problema, so you can correct yourself and you won't be penalized. Try not to look at what the examiner is writing. It's not your business, and they aren't making any notes about you. They are not assessing you. They are not marking you. They are just recording and conducting the exam. Unlike GCSE, where they look at the mark scheme at the same time. They are not writing your errors. It will only make you lose concentration if you look at their notes. And don't worry if the examiner's expression, the face expression and body language disappoints you. Now, it's a good idea if you grab pen and paper and you write some sentences I'm going to give you. If instead of saying no sé, no lo sé, what would be the best possibility? Well, say, no sé cómo explicarlo, no sé cómo decirlo exactamente. Tengo que reconocer que mi conocimiento es un poco limitado sobre este tema. No puedo afirmarlo con seguridad. No soy una experta, no soy un experto. No tengo una opinión clara al respecto. No tengo una opinión definida. If you are unsure about something, if you want to buy time, if you need some thinking time, bueno, pues, a ver, tengo que pensarlo un poco, tengo que pensarlo un momento. Es un tema delicado. Buena pregunta. ¿Qué tema tan polémico? ¿Era su pregunta? ¿Entendí bien su pregunta? Es un tema delicado, es un tema complicado. Es algo en lo que nunca he pensado. No se puede decir con seguridad. Quiero pensar que si, if you've gone blank, just say it. Me he quedado en blanco, me he olvidado de su pregunta, perdón, estoy nervioso, estoy nerviosa, se me ha ido de la cabeza. Justo ahora lo he olvidado, lo tenía en la punta de la lengua. No conversation is perfect. Conversations are full of hesitations and doubts and repetitions. Don't worry, it's the usual thing in a conversation. If you have to agree or disagree, estoy de acuerdo, totalmente de acuerdo. Bueno, discrepo, no estoy de acuerdo, no estoy en absoluto de acuerdo, tengo mis dudas. No tengo ninguna duda, yo no lo veo así. En principio estoy de acuerdo. No estoy muy convencido, no estoy muy convencida. Si no has entendido la pregunta del examinador, pregunta directamente. ¿Cómo? ¿Puedes repetir? It could be that they haven't asked the question very clearly. It is not your fault, maybe. So just ask, honestly. ¿Puedes repetir, por favor? No he escuchado bien. And I'm pretty sure they'll rephrase the question. They'll say it in other ways so that you understand it. If you have to choose A or B, or if you have to explain which one is best. Por un lado, por otro lado, por una parte, por otra parte. Todo tiene su cara y su cruz. O para gustos hay colores. A diferencia de bla bla bla, bla bla bla, ta ta ta. Si comparamos X con Y, es preferible X a Y porque bla 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 bla. If you want to make yourself understood, if you want to rephrase what you've said, if you want to clarify, o sea, that is to say, es decir, in other words, that is to say, en otras palabras, quiero decir que, lo que quiero decir es que they are quite good, aren't they? I hope you're writing. If not, you can always stop, go back. I'll post all these sentences in my Instagram account so that you have a nice post. If you ask rhetorical questions, that is a good thing. that is a nice resource, isn't it? ¿Por qué digo esto? ¿Por qué se dice que no sería extraño que tiene sentido? ¿No es una contradicción? And you answer, you respond. So, ¿por qué digo esto? Porque el origen de esta fiesta es muy antiguo. O, ¿tiene sentido? Sí, tiene sentido, ya que la identidad hispana tiene aspectos como bla, 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 bla. Rhetorical questions will be good. Also, if you have read something, an article, something that you could bring to the conversation, just say it. Según un artículo que he leído, he visto un documental sobre este tema. Hay un proyecto que me ha impactado mucho. Hay experiencias en el sur de España para evitar el racismo hacia los gitanos. Use your knowledge if you have seen, watched, read something. Hay un informe que dice que, vi un documental sobre. Make sure you give examples. You provide evidence. You could provide evidence and then give your opinion, or the other way around. Give information about the culture when you discuss the card. Don't give pre-learned answers. Don't be afraid to have different points of view to the examiner. Speak clearly. Avoid silences. You could say, pues, bueno, a ver, ¿qué puedo decir? ¿Cómo lo podría decir? Ay, qué pregunta tan difícil. Avoid silences. Don't be shy, speak up. Remember that perfection isn't expected. As I said, hesitation, stuttering, rephrasing, asking for clarification are always part of a conversation. Try to sound natural and spontaneous as well. Don't get frustrated if you cannot express the deep thoughts you can express in English in Spanish. Remember, your Spanish level is lower. At the same time, feel proud. You've reached a really good level. You're talking about really interesting topics: immigration, racism, popular movements, monarchies, dictatorships, tourism, relationships. So try your best, but don't think you have to speak like you do in English. Check your numbers before the exam. There's always some figures or percentages you have to mention. Again, remember, no exact figures are supposed to be mentioned. Más de 50%, la mitad de la población, muchos jóvenes, la mayoría de los jóvenes. That would be great. That would be more than enough. AQA won't mark you down for your opinions. Opinions aren't right or wrong. They are your opinions. It's the fact that you show in your critical thinking what's important. Again, in my Instagram account, you can see lots and lots of posts with lots of phrases you can use. You can also you can go straight looking for Spanish no panic, or you can use the barcode on the screen. You have plenty of posts. And finally, have a look at the mark scheme for the card. You will be assessed. They'll take into account your fluency. Again, it's not speaking fast, it's speaking clearly and giving the right information or good information. Intonation, pronunciation are not supposed to be the same as a native speaker. Your grammar will also be marked, structures. If you could use some if clauses while you are speaking, your grammar will, your mark in your grammar will go into the next band probably. So as I said, intonation, pronunciation, vocabulary, cultural information. Don't forget, minor errors are those that do not affect communication. Serious errors are those that affect communication. You will have another video about the individual research project, and I'll tell you many more, I'll give you many more tips. Y solo me queda agradecerte tu atención y tu interés en este vídeo y muchísima suerte para tus exámenes. Espero que te sirvan muchísimo mis consejos. Adiós.